I'm Claire Gregory, and I'm the person who had the great honour of starting Holly Hagg up in 2012. And I do this because I just love it.
So Claire, you're the farm manager here.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about the farm for someone who hasn't been yet?
Well, we started on the idea, we just want to bring nature and people together and give people a chance to get out in the fresh air. It's good for your mental and physical health. And we really, the earth needs an awful lot of help at the moment because we're doing some bad things to it. So the idea was we teach people how to grow food, look after the land and keep some animals. And also have fun and bring back community spirit and being able to work together. We've got a 3-acre field, and when we first came here it was just a big flat field with a strange lump in the middle with a holly tree, which is where the coal mine was.
We're on top of a coal mine now?
We're on top of a coal mine,
oh.
Yeah. It's just where that holly is. There was a 60-foot drop down into the mine and they were mining coal.
Do you still get coal? Do you still find
No,
coal?
No, it was closed in 1900.
Oh, right. So
and it belongs to the Coal Mine Authority anyway.
You can't have I couldn't take a little bit home for...
No, I'm afraid not.
If you go
and poke around in that flat bit, you might find a little bit of coal, but not very much.
It would add to my winter fuel allowance. Handsomely, that, wouldn't it?
I bought the land because there was another group I was involved with called Hillside Harvest, and they wanted to find some land on which they could have this great vision of, growing stuff. But they ended up with some allotments, and so I thought, well, we still want to buy some land, so started from scratch with new people, and friends started, and then people from nearby came and helped, and it's just grown an awful lot since then. So we've now got a lot of, we've subdivided it into rooms and paddocks, and we've got polytunnels and chicken house and the alpacas, and lots of places where we grow food. Some of it is like a forest garden, which is where you're trying to get the trees and the shrubs and the ground cover all to be edible, so that you don't really need to do very much work. You just go around there at harvest time and pick off the fruit. Problem is a lot of the animals get there first.
So is it blackberrying time at the moment?
It's blackberry time, isn't it? Yes, and nuts time. Yes. Yeah, the squirrels have been eating all our hazelnuts. Well, today we've got a team from the Environment Agency. They usually have to sit behind desks, so I think they've been given a day off to go and be in the environment. They're giving us a marvellous amount of help.
Fantastic.
They're doing lots of clearing, and they're digging out a bog over there that produces water for us. We've got regular volunteers, and we've got Grow UK, which is a really good charity that helps vulnerable people to get into work. And they're here doing a special project up at the top.
Fantastic. It's great to see so many people working together.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah. And we have a lot of fun too.
I'm Sarah Frost. I've been helping with treks for a very long time, and I've come over the summer to put a bit of extra manpower in when things are growing so fast.
How long have you been volunteering here?
Almost a year after we got the alpacas. On and off, I've been around a while.
What do you enjoy most about the treks?
I enjoy seeing the way people respond to the alpacas, and I personally enjoy the therapy treks that are given to people who have special needs, but also we have young people, beavers, brownies, cubs, come onto the land and they do a bit of pond dipping. They feed the alpacas, they feed the chickens, they run through the willow, and sometimes they do a bit of vegetation clearing, and that introduces young people to nature, which I think is so important.
Now, we're currently standing in a field, the three of us, Claire, and we're not alone. Can you describe who's in the field with us?
Yeah, we've got 7 camelids, and they are 6 alpacas and 1 llama. And alpacas are like the sheep of the Andes. They're sent out to graze and to produce lots of fleece. It's a really lovely luxury fibre. And then the llama, we've got 1, is like the donkey of the Andes. He's a beast of burden. He'd be wandering along on the treks with the people carrying their burdens for them. But that's a very small llama because he's only 1 year old.
So that's that llama. That's not the Dalai Lama, is it?
No, it's not the Dalai Lama. We thought about calling him Dalai Lama, but he's called Jefe, the boss.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And when he's big, he's going to be the same head height as average human.
Alpacas. I mean, it's a strange name because I was at school with somebody called Alan Packer. We used to call him Alpaca. Yes. It'd be really happy to know there was a camel. Never buy teeth from a catalogue. A cameloid quadruped named after him.
Can you describe the alpacas for us, Claire?
They've got long necks and they're very fluffy and very cute. They look like they ought to be cuddly, but I'm afraid they're not cuddly because they don't like you getting too close and actually touching them. But so we've got a few cuddly ones. When we go on treks, we can get quite close and give them a stroke on the neck.
So there are 8 South American beasts?
They are, yeah.
From the armies?
From the where?
Armies. Not armies.
Armies, the Andes. The Andes.
Where do you keep your,
yeah,
that's it.
that
Your
big
sleeves,
mountain.
Andes in your sleeves. No,
Yeah.
I've got that wrong. Andes, that's it.
Andes.
The Andes, yes. South America,
Yeah.
that's Peru and
Yeah.
and
Colombia and
Chile
places
and
like that.
Colombia
Yeah.
and all those places. I mean,
They're
yeah.
lovely, and they've all got their own personalities too. They've all
Yeah,
got their
and-
likes and dislikes.
And they range in colour from black to almost white with a lovely fawny.
Yes, they do.
ones as well.
Black's quite unusual. Our next door neighbour's got 2 blacks, but the one you think is black is actually dark brown.
Ah.
But yeah, it's every colour in between.
And they're kind of smaller than I imagine. They're like
Some
a
people say
very
that.
small pony, aren't
Yes,
they?
they are. Some people
A
say,
large
can you
dog."
ride them? No, you can't ride them. They weigh about as much as we do, fully grown. When they're walking with you, their heads are about your shoulder height.
They have some quite radical haircuts. I noticed. Do you have a stylist that comes in and does
Yes.
just that
Yeah, when
for-
we get the shearer coming, which is every May or June, when the weather's just getting a bit hotter,
So
they're
you've got
sheared.
Alpaca and Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer, yes,
Some
that's
good
good.
names there, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a fashion thing, but also they look nice to have their tails and their top knots kept all fluffy. But some of them, they grow their fringes so quickly that we have to take a pair of scissors and ask them to stand very nicely and gently, and we just snip the fringe so that they can see out again.
And they
Can't
like
see.
the attention, they like to be pampered, do they?
Pampering for them is giving them some food. We've got special pellets made for alpacas, and when we take them walking, people have got a bag full of food.
Do they bite?
No, they don't bite. What some people think is that they spit.
That was going to be
They
my
spit,
next question.
yeah.
Do they spit like camels?
Yes.
Because I had a camel once on the Giza Plateau outside Cairo, and
Yes.
that spat at me.
Yes. We've got very polite alpacas, and they sometimes spit at each other if they're getting a bit too close, getting in each other's way, especially if there's food about. They might spit. The first thing is an air spit, which is if there's pellets in air, they just go and the pellets go everywhere. But the really nasty deep down spit is bile, and it's green and it's smelly. But they don't spit at us because we're always very respectful and kind to them, and we don't give them any reason. Except Griffin, when he's being sheared, when he's got his legs tied and he's down on the floor and there's someone with a big machine trying to take his clothes off and he's frightened, he screams, he poos, he wheezes and he spits. But all
can't
the
blame
others are
him.
very good.
I knew somebody like that, Cecil Guttridge.
Really?
Was a bit like that. On a Friday night, came out to the Shakespeare at Gilthwaite.
So you mentioned treks, Claire.
Yes, they are very popular, yes.
What do they involve?
Well, we put them on the harness. If the alpaca is used to having people around him, then gradually they get very good about having a halter put over the heads, just round the nose and back of the neck, and then you can put a lead on them and they walk along very peacefully beside you. And it's that peacefulness, this lovely, deep, wise animal that just is happy to travel along beside you looking at the world. And the fact we've got beautiful countryside around us, we walk up the Riverline Valley, we get fantastic views, we go under the trees, and it's so quiet and peaceful.
It is. Well, it's calmed my shattered nerves already, Claire, after driving on the M1 this morning.
I
feel
remember
more
being on the
peaceful and
London
tranquil.
Underground on holiday thinking, why am I here? I could be in a field of alpacas.
Because they're grazing away and it is so calming, isn't it?
It is,
You just feel-
yes. It wouldn't be calm if I put food in your hand. They'd all come crowding
Would they all
towards
come
you.
running up?
They will all
Yes.
come running
It
up.
would be
yes.
very intimidating, that I
Yes.
can imagine.
You have to stand there and hold out your hands, and then they'll go towards each other when one's in the way. They won't spit at you.
We've had some remarkable experience with people with learning difficulties. They just adore being here. And the children come on and they're just so amazed by how much there is in the pond. Everything is so vibrantly healthy here. It rubs off on people that come.